Alright, so here we are. NDC Edition 2 Grand Finals. An insane amount of time and effort has gone in from these players. So let's see. We have nehyzo versus eLconn versus mime versus DyZroD, all showing very strong performances going into this match, coming in from the semifinals. We saw mime and DyZroD especially perform very strongly to get here, and you know, we will probably see nehyzo and eLconn are kind of the underdogs of this match, so it's going to be very interesting to see who comes out on top in this match. We're going to be starting off with the map Unruly, the Gear 4 map, the very easy map, so we shall see who is going to take it. We have a small little prize pool of $50 to the first place person, 25 to second, 15 to third, and then 10 for fourth. So, you know, just a little bit of an incentive for them to perform here. We'll see these players warming up as they come through and get ready for a fantastic grand final. Good luck, have fun to all of them, and let's see. Gonna take a look from nehyzo's perspective here. Possibly the biggest underdog here, maybe the least established name out of these four people. Probably the most established right now could be either mime or eLconn, depending on who you talk about. But in the dirt community, the big favorite here is for sure going to be DyZroD. At least from a historical standpoint, he is absolutely dominant when it comes to dirt. However, mime is getting the better hand here in the first turn, so we're seeing it very close among all these players. Looking back at eLconn, he's just a little bit behind. Players going very wide here, trying to keep as much speed as possible. Mime still keeping up ahead, but we're only 0.3 between all the players, so really it could be anyone's game. eLconn getting a bit of a jump there, as well as nehyzo. DyZroD pulling ahead a bit, but mime keeping his lead with 0.2 of a second. Looks like mime could actually get first here, and all the players with a really good pace here on this first round, so it looks like mime might take the first, and yes, he will, with a 56.03. Very nice time from mime, only about 0.2 behind world record pace. Nice time from mime. And we're already seeing a very strong start to this match from all the players. The only mistake coming from nehyzo at the very last turn, trying to risk to get just a little bit extra out of that final turn. So maybe he's going to reconsider that. Nobody getting an early gear there. Mime getting the most speed out of the first turn though. DyZroD just trailing slightly behind. We have eLconn here just a little bit further behind both of them. eLconn going very wide. This might pay off. He's going to try to go very deep. He's going to keep some speed. Looks like it's about even. He keeps maybe a little bit more speed going through, but looks like DyZroD and mime both have the better lead here. Mime up ahead, DyZroD trailing behind, DyZroD getting a little bit more speed out of that turn. DyZroD keeping the more outside line, mime going more inside for a better exit, but he gets so bumped there that it looks like DyZroD is going to have the best speed here. DyZroD going through to the end. DyZroD comes in with a 56.07. Nice time, and we see on the poll here on the side, mime wins the poll for who's going to win with 7 votes. eLconn getting 4 votes, DyZroD getting 3, and nehyzo getting 3. So we'll see who's going to be the most dominant here. We already see mime and DyZroD exchanging that first and second place over the first 2 rounds. eLconn getting 3rd in both rounds and nehyzo getting 4th. So there's a little bit of a difference in the pace here, it seems like, just to start with, but they should be all right. We got mime making an early mistake, so he's out of it. DyZroD is ahead. Let's take a look from eLconn's perspective, battling with nehyzo. eLconn getting a much better exit speed there. So maybe DyZroD will be able to keep this lead, and eLconn will go through and keep up here. DyZroD staying ahead by 0.2 of a second. nehyzo is going to keep that that 3rd place just behind him. Not really losing much. Mime probably going to keep that 4th as long as nobody makes a mistake in the end. DyZroD getting a very wonky turn there, but it looks like eLconn is going to stay behind him, and DyZroD gets that 1st place with a 56.1. Even with a weird end, that's a pretty good time there. So nice job from DyZroD. He's going to keep a lead here, and mime getting last there means he's going to be now 7 points ahead of him, so that's good to get at the end of this. Oh, no, we're not at the end. We have one more round here. So nehyzo's sitting at 10 points, probably not feeling all that confident going into this map. He's going for the most wide banking there, and it looks like he keeps the most speed. But it looks like mime and DyZroD will stay ahead. Let's take a look from nehyzo's perspective here. He's going to, he doesn't risk it as much as the rest there, but it keeps the same amount of speed. He keeps the gear, so it's all good. Him being trailing behind mime and DyZroD. Mime getting a way better advantage here, I think. I think he's going to have the advantage there for sure. Yep, he's going to have more speed going into this turn. So let's follow DyZroD right behind mime and see who's going to take this first place on this round. We have DyZroD who's right behind him. Mime getting a much better exit. He's going to go into the turn. He's going to keep it. He doesn't hit the wall, so mime gets first place with a 55.95. That is a fantastic time for mime. About 0.15 away from world record time. Now, I want you to keep in mind that nehyzo got third with a 0.17. Crazy, crazy stuff. All these players have very good times. There's a reason why they were all the top seed in the qualifiers, because they can drive fast, fast times. So, nehyzo here, making a slight mistake. Looking at it, out of the first map, we're seeing two very strong contenders for the victory, DyZroD and mime, and eLconn and nehyzo just battling out behind them. Not being, I wouldn't say they're not anywhere near, but, you know, we're only after the first map. But after one map, you usually can see some sort of pattern forming, and we're seeing a pattern where DyZroD and mime are going at it, and eLconn and nehyzo are trying to keep up the pace. But it seems like these two players are just slightly too fast for eLconn and nehyzo, at least on this first map. So maybe on the second map, we have Back to the Roots by Azroth, the one with the meme ending, that will decide. We'll see who is better at this map. We recall that you know, DyZroD was pretty good at the other map that we just played, but this one, not so much necessarily. He was able to win quite a few rounds, but he didn't win all of them. He was a little bit shakier on this map. So let's see, how is he going to do on this map? Nobody making any early mistakes. Slight lag there. Ooh, DyZroD getting the gear awfully. You could hear he just did not get the gear early enough because he went too direct on that downhill. So, yeah, he's going to fall a little bit behind. eLconn going out just a little bit too. But he goes for a no-slide line, and this actually is going to maybe pay off in the long run. Well, he's at least back in the running. Mime still ahead. nehyzo with a better line. He's going to keep that approach. Let's go up and look at eLconn. How is he going to do this? eLconn known for doing like that outside line. I think everyone does the outside line now. And now all of them realizing that is the superior line. We see everyone who has gone through is using it. So now mime makes it. Everyone makes it except for DyZroD. And like I said, we didn't see him be as strong on this map as he was unruly the previous map that we were watching. But mime with a 52.3. What a nice time to lead with. So now mime going up, and whoa, I do not know what the hell just happened to eLconn. Maybe he accidentally left one of his keybinds on or something? I have no idea, but eLconn is now completely out of it, 3.5 seconds behind. Let's go up and look at the front. DyZroD is out of it as well, so looks like a good easy points for mime, and maybe for nehyzo as well. nehyzo's sitting at the back of the pack with 20. He's almost 20 points behind mime, so this will be good if he can try to fight for this first or at least the second place and get some points ahead of the other players. So nehyzo trying to keep up with mime here. He has a little bit more speed. He has a little bit worse of an entry, but he jumps and, oh, he just barely makes it. Mime, though, getting that first place for 10 points. DyZroD getting in third, and we won't even see eLconn finishing that round, so that's terrible for eLconn. It's got to be bad for his mentality to have had such a major mistake in the beginning. And then, yeah, that's just not what you want to see. You always want to get some points, because you don't want a dead round where everyone is going to be passing you no matter what. So now eLconn sitting in dead last with 21 points. That was a good way for nehyzo to move up into that third spot, but we're still seeing quite a big difference between mime and DyZroD, and then nehyzo and eLconn. So maybe this is just how it is. This is just our difference in points and how it will go for the rest of the match. You know, you'd want to see it go closer, but maybe there is just a certain level of dominance that we're going to see. Mime keeping ahead here. nehyzo not really keeping up there, so let's go up and look at mime. Mime inside of DyZroD, going for a slightly tighter turn there. Mime going for a very tight turn, and he gets it. Going for that risky approach, and eLconn once again not even making the finish there. So eLconn getting 3 points, and he has to be a little angry at himself right now for being now 6 points behind last. So DyZroD, this could be the upset that we didn't expect, is that DyZroD getting beaten out by mime. Though many of us might think that mime is a good player, I know DyZroD is a main on dirt, so he would be probably a little bit concerned if he didn't win this, but it would show just how powerful mime has gotten in the past year or so. Mime is going up, trying to attack DyZroD here. Mime of hold 14 points ahead of DyZroD, so he has a decent lead here, and he might be able to make it a little bit bigger. He gets more speed out of this. He goes into the drop, and Mime goes around the corner. DyZroD is going to go for a more inside line there, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Mime having just a little bit less speed, but DyZroD can go for the risk, but Mime goes for it and gets a 52.39. What a nice time from mime, but DyZroD being ahead there shows you that he was on an insane time if he was able to continue it. So mime with a very nice time. eLconn once again, this is just not his map. 3 out of the 4 rounds were just awful for him. Maybe even all 4, I don't remember the first, but it seems like that one mistake of just flying off the map really set his mentality in the wrong direction, but hopefully he can reset and get back on track on this map. We have Impact by Firestorm, the map where you got that no slide right there, and we see a lot of players doing a lot of crazy stuff on this map as far as you know, really pushing and trying to keep their gear through all these turns. And it's right here is a crucial part too. Keeping this gear here is a very important aspect of this map that you don't want to miss out on. So we have eLconn sitting at 27 points, 7 points behind nehyzo, who's sitting I want to say 17 points behind DyZroD, who is then sitting almost 20 points behind mime. So mime could just walk away with this victory if he continues this pace. He's sitting at 69 points. He's over halfway there. He's over halfway there after 2 maps. He has 69 out of 80 points that he could possibly get. So this is just insane that he is able to get this far so quickly with so many points. But we'll see if he can continue this momentum on Impact by Firestorm. Let's see. Mime with the worst start out of all of them. He goes for a no slide that doesn't go over the penalty, but it looks like all the other players are fine. DyZroD making an early mistake, so he's out of it. This is looking terrible for DyZroD, but great for mime. Mime is just walking away with this victory, keeping DyZroD in a negative mindset, probably making sure that he doesn't think that he has what it takes to win this. So this would be terrible for DyZrod's mental game. He's a whole 2 seconds behind. Let's see if nehyzo can make something happen. nehyzo desperately would want to get to catch up to DyZroD, and if DyZroD keeps playing like this, nehyzo does have the potential to catch up to him, and mime makes a mistake, so mime is going to go down, and this is perfect opportunity for nehyzo, but nehyzo makes a mistake, and eLconn! No, not eLconn. eLconn made a mistake as well, so mime is just going to go up and take that first place, probably. What a meme of a round. We saw this last time. Last match, the first round we saw on Impact was absolute chaos. And a 104.9 is the winning time. Last match, the first round we saw on Impact was a 105 mid being the winning time, with all the players getting between a 105 mid and 105.8. So this is not something you want to see at such a grand final. eLconn making an early touch and a mistake. He's not going to like that. eLconn falling apart a little bit here. mime getting a fantastic turn there. DyZroD, though, trying to make that comeback, realizing that he's a whole 25 points behind mime. He's going to want to push as hard as he possibly can to catch up to him, but mime really does have the great advantage here. I think mime is in just the best mindset he could possibly be for a grand final. I mean, you're sitting here, you're 25 points ahead. You've won 79 out of 90 possible points. You have no doubts about your ability, whereas DyZroD is sitting here thinking that he is going to possibly lose one of the only matches in this entire competition. Same for eLconn, who made it through by a thread on the last match. Probably doesn't have the greatest mindset going into this. nehyzo as well, being that second seed. So mime truly is going to keep this this mentality ahead, and mime gets a 104.03. Fantastic time. I want to say that that beats second place in the world. And the only player faster than mime is himself with a 103.96 as the world record. So mime is on fire right now, carrying that momentum that he had from the first match that we saw today. And both DyZroD and nehyzo making mistakes, so eLconn's the only one who can stop him in this round. Oh, eLconn going for a very nice turn here. We have the two keyboard players passing the two controller players, so maybe we'll see some change, a shift in player style, if you will, for Dirt Scene in Trackmania. Ever since the keybinds have been added, now those players can do those no slides, and they're kind of given an advantage, because if they find the exact keybind that gives them that no slide, it's just they can macro right in and just get it consistently every single time. So we see eLconn here taking advantage of that. Mime as well. Mime just a little bit behind. Let's see if he's going to be able to make this overtake. He goes for a much more aggressive line, but he touches on the outside, so eLconn is very likely going to take this first place. And DyZroD sniping at the very end by 0.02, going to the risky finish. Mime getting slightly behind, so that's better for him. DyZroD knowing that he can pass mime at least once. But eLconn getting a very nice time of 104.3. But for DyZroD, he has to be sitting here and sweating it, knowing that mime is sitting at 27 points ahead of him. I mean, that is just a crazy gap, and then the difference between nehyzo and DyZroD is just another 20 points. So these players are, despite the closeness of those two semifinals, we're having some very, very clear differences in skill level, or at least in like the mindset and the ability to play in this grand final among these players. So nehyzo is the only one recently who we've been seeing who can challenge mime, and nehyzo is just choking at the end, and it seems like nehyzo has great pace. It's just that he isn't able to follow through in the same way that mime is, and that's all about that mentality. When you see that you're going up against mime and he is neck and neck with you, you're going to be sweating it and trying to make up that against him. And when he drives a 104.2, you know that you cannot make any mistakes, and you have to be driving almost perfectly. So we see mime going up and getting that first place. So after the first three maps, we have mime getting how many points out of a possible 120? We have Mime with a ridiculous 103 out of 120 points. This is just dominance. So if Mime can keep this momentum, which he likely will, he could just go through and just sweep the competition and get an easy first place on this second edition of the NDC. So now we have everyone making a touch in the warm-up, but it seems like it'll be okay for them. It's just a warm-up, so no need to worry about that. Best map? Yeah, it's definitely the easiest. So you could make the argument that it is the best map for that reason. All right, going on. We have eLconn at 47, nehyzo at 53, DyZroD at 70, and Mime at a monstrous 103. Let's take a look from Mime's perspective. Mime and DyZroD both going for that inside line. We see eLconn and nehyzo going for the outside line, and which one's more dominant? It seems like that inside line is just superior because they are getting just a more direct approach into that turn. So now we have nehyzo coming up, and nehyzo getting a better turn than Mime. Mime not having the greatest start here, actually. We have Mime going through and keeping pace with them. Let's take a look from eLconn's perspective. He is in last, but only by a very slight margin, by 0.15, so this round is perfect for all these players. Just keeping that skill level right there. Mime making no mistakes as he goes through that turn. He goes more inside. Mime always going for that more inside approach. He tries to go more direct, but he's going to lose out on some time because of that. So now it looks like everyone is inside of each other, and we get 0.18 for eLconn, 0.2 for DyZroD, 0.21 for Mime, and the losing time is a 56.3 flat. And now nehyzo goes down to last place again. And this is just what this map does. This map is so simple that when it comes to top players, you're going to see all these players having insanely close times. eLconn getting not the best start here. He tries to go for that, you know, cancel of the drift, but it doesn't really work out that great for him. He's only about 0.25 behind, but it's not the greatest start for him regardless. He's the only person who does this really wide approach. So let's see, from 0.25, he goes from 0.25 to 0.25, so it's just the exact same thing, it seems like, but it does have a little bit more speed. nehyzo making a touch, so he's a little bit out of it. So it seems like Mime makes a little bit of a mistake. So Mime versus DyZroD is the battle we want to watch here. Mime at 107. Mime only needs a few more wins here, and he's just through. I mean, he has been so dominant throughout this entire match. DyZroD is on the hot seat here. DyZroD with 56.04. Very nice for him getting that first place. He needs more of these if he wants to put up a fight against Mime. Mime needs only one more victory. In fact, he's going to go up to a 113. If he comes in second or worse, he is going to get a 119, and he won't be able to get into finalists. So DyZroD needs these victories badly. DyZroD with a very good start there. A super nice no slide line. He goes over the bubble, gets a nice line there, but is it going to be superior? We will see. Mime goes way outside, going for more speed, but nehyzo ends up passing him anyway, so that doesn't really matter for him. DyZroD going up into this first place, keeping a hold of it with by 0.15 a second. eLconn behind by 0.5, so he's out of it. Mime going for a more direct approach, so he loses a little bit of speed, but actually, no, he's gaining somehow with a more direct approach. Somehow, he just knows a good line through this section. He's 0.08 behind. This is going to be rough for DyZroD. DyZroD has to know that he has to push and do a very good ending here. Mime might have the better approach here. Mime is going to have more speed, and Mime going into first, and he gets a 56.04 with a slower start by 0.15. So the time that DyZroD was on was insane. He was on like a 0.9 low. Mime is now in that finalist seat. He has so much room. DyZroD needs to win 4 rounds in a row if he wants to take this away from Mime. So Mime is just sitting here in such a comfortable position. DyZroD has to be sweating right now, knowing that he needs to put in all the effort that he possibly can to deny this from Mime. Mime pulling 1 of a second behind DyZroD, but as we know, he can catch that up with a superior ending if he continues to do it. eLconn making a mistake. Let's take a look from nehyzo's perspective. nehyzo here, right next to Mime. Mime touching on the inside, so he's safe this round. DyZroD has to know this, and he is going to probably try to safe and get this first place. So Mime is out of it in this round. nehyzo getting a superior line through there, getting a little bit more speed, but he's going to stay behind DyZroD. So DyZroD might get this first place that he desperately needs, and he'd break that 100-point barrier and get through, but he still needs so much more to go after this round. This is not it, but DyZroD getting a 56 flat. Very nice time from DyZroD. So we will see what these players can do, and we'll see if Mime can finish this out. eLconn and nehyzo practically tied here, so we will see what can they do. So we see all these players here warming up. We are back to the roots. Mime looked powerful here. He was driving really consistently good times. So this has to be really worrying for all the other players, knowing that Mime is strong, and we'll have to see if he's able to close it out. Can he perform under the pressure? You know, it's definitely a lot of pressure in this situation. Despite being a finalist with 102 points, like he knows that all he has to do is just win 1 more round, and he wins the whole thing. But that's quite a difficult task. You can't just ask that of yourself or anyone else to give it to you when everyone else is going to be trying harder than ever to make sure that they beat you. So going into this map, we might see the end here for Mime. He might close it out, but he needs to put in that work. So let's see. So moving on, we have, from nehyzo's perspective, we'll actually watch eLconn here. eLconn not getting much of the spotlight this match because he hasn't really been performing in those top spots. He just made it through into this match by the skin of his teeth, and he can barely make it through. And right now, Mime is leading the pack alongside DyZroD. DyZroD knows that he has to put in the work to stay ahead of Mime. Mime here, let's watch from his perspective. Is Mime going to keep his composure? Mime getting the superior line through here, but then again, DyZroD keeping that same pace with him. DyZroD looks like the only one who's going to be able to keep against Mime. Mime getting a superior line again, and Mime is on his way to win this thing. Mime getting the superior line again and holding on to this first. Quite far ahead of DyZroD. Is DyZroD going to be able to catch up to him? Mime has to just make this jump, and Mime is the winner of NDC edition number 2. GG. That is the most convincing performance we have seen, winning this and not even letting the other players get into finalist yet. That is just fantastic for Mime, holding on to that first place, and he wins that edition. World record, I'm not sure. It was a point. World record is 0.2 flat, I think. But now the other players can kind of rest easy now, knowing that they don't have Mime to worry about. So nehyzo here, 0.4 behind DyZroD. DyZroD staying far ahead, and eLconn quite far behind in that 4th place. So now it is it's a bit of a battle for that 2nd place, but DyZroD probably didn't feel he was worried about that first place, but I'm gonna guess that he felt as comfortable as mine was feeling about first for second place. He's probably thinking, okay, all I have to do is finish now. I just gotta play at a nice pace, and he will be okay. So he's sitting at 118 points. All he needs to do is finish the next round, and he will go into finalist with all the other players sitting at 77. So no, nehyzo taking the lead here. DyZroD a little bit behind, no pressure on him at all anymore, so I'm guessing that's why he's doing just relaxing right now on this round. He has absolutely no pressure on him now. I would suspect that he's not that scared of nehyzo or eLconn, given he has been so consistently up front the entire time. But then again, he misses the finish, so wait. Yeah, I was thinking. I was like, wait, you don't want to drift there, DyZroD. That's a no steer block. Oh my gosh. All right, so he would have to lose 5 rounds in a row to one of these players in order to lose this. So DyZroD is in a very good position to get first. nehyzo making the early mistake. eLconn keeping the lead, fighting off DyZroD, making sure that he doesn't take this too easily. DyZroD going for that no slide strat, gets a little bit more speed on the exit. DyZroD here, just getting passed by eLconn, but eLconn ends up making a mistake. And DyZroD wins it in second place. GG. Very nice job from these players. nehyzo in 91, eLconn in 89. Oh wait, oops, hold on. nehyzo in 91 and eLconn 89. If we play for third, I did not set it for 3 winners, so oops. nehyzo just fucking dipped. However, he was in the 3rd place spot, so I don't know. Might want to get him back here for a quick 1v1. Yo, at nehyzo, come back, or you default to 4th, since eLconn wants to play. Yeah, I could do that too. But also, you know, in the announcement, nehyzo's out. He's defaulting. Okay, fair enough. So there it is. That is it. I guess I'll have to write that into the rule book, the edge cases. All right, well, there we have it. That is it. We have Mime coming in in first place. Nah, it's all good. It's all good, nehyzo. I understand. It's really